Hi guys, it's Laura. So long time no talk since I just sat down and filmed a video for you guys, but I have been wanting to do this for so long and I've just been like doing life. I don't know. If I look like a mess right now, it is because I need to shower. I've gotten like 7 hours of sleep in the last 2 nights combined. I spilled like half of my coffee down my shirt. You can't even see it, but it's there. I spilled my coffee down my shirt today on the way to class. And it's only the second week of school, so. Today I wanted to talk to you about how I have stopped my binging. I've been talking to my friends about this a lot lately because I have some friends who are struggling with this still. And they said that it's been helping them and that I should maybe like make a video on it because I could potentially help you guys. So I really hope this does help you guys, and you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just what worked for me and this is what I say to my friends to help them. So that doesn't mean that everything I'm saying is true or it's what you should believe or how you should live your life, yada yada. All I'm saying is that this is what helped me and that I hope it can help you. I've never like established myself as someone who had suffered from binge eating disorder. I just like would binge. So I mean, I don't know, I just never like proclaimed I, suffer from binge eating disorder. I've been through a few different phases of binging, and they've been at different levels of extremity and different extremities. I don't know if that's a word. It's so easy. Like when I was binging, it was just this cycle of being like, okay, I'm going to do well today. I'm not going to self-sabotage. I was on a roll. I was doing well. And then I just ate 2,000, 3,000 calories, whatever it was in a single sitting. Sometimes it can be more than that. I've literally done some really questionable things. But basically it's just this cycle, and you like, I'm gonna do well today, and you get halfway through the day or to the end of the night, you've hit all like your macros or whatever you're doing, you've eaten what you're going to eat for the day. And for me, it would happen at nighttime, and I know a lot of people kind of have the same thing, where you just literally go into the kitchen and you can't stop eating and you can't say no and you have no willpower and you like feel like shit and you know you're going to regret it, but you do it anyways. And some people like black out kind of when they do it and they just like come out of it like, what the hell just happened? But it's basically just this cycle. And then you binge, and then you're like, okay, tomorrow's a new day, this is gonna be good, it's a good day, and it's just this cycle. And it's so easy to beat yourself up after you binge. It's so easy to be like, I'm a failure, what the hell, like I was on a roll, I made it 3 days without binging, I made it 3 months, I made it a freaking year without binging, and I just binged again. But that's, I think, one of the worst things you can do, and it's so much easier said than done, but you cannot beat yourself up about it because it just perpetuates the cycle. For me, I've been in a really good place with food lately for the most part. I found like a good sense of balance, I think, and I haven't really been binging. Sometimes I'll overeat, but like, who doesn't do that? And that's another one of my points, but we'll get to that in a second. But basically, you just can't be so hard on yourself, because I don't even know like how to describe it, but if you're like that hard on yourself and it eventually just breaks you down, and you're never going to believe that you're able to get over it. And so how can you get over it if you don't even believe you can? I don't even know, you guys, if anything I'm saying is making sense, but I just wanted to like chat. I don't know. We're just chatting. So yeah, you just like can't get down on yourself, and you just have to be like, okay, well that happened and that's okay, and tomorrow's a new day. And I'm not going to like make myself feel like shit about it. I'm not going to undereat tomorrow to make up for it, because that just leads to more binging. See a nutritionist, do some research. You just have to start like fresh and pretend it didn't happen, and just kill your workout and kill your foods and shower yourself with positive thoughts, because that's just what you have to do. Like, you have to kind of like fake it until you make it. And that's kind of like what helped me with binging. You just kind of have to like, it's okay, we're just moving on, and then don't give your mental energy to it, because that just fuels the fire. Another thing I can say is just if you're under eating, you probably like that could definitely be a reason like spurring your binges. If your body like feels like it needs food that bad because you're not feeding it, it's not like it's gonna go into starvation mode and you're literally just going to go eat everything because your body like physically feels like it needs the food. So you need to maybe count your macros if that's like what you want to do. That's just what I do. I'm not saying it's the correct way to like go about your life or anything. That's just what I do. Just follow your macros, follow your whatever. Do your research and figure out how much you should be eating for your body type, the amount of exercise you're doing, your goals. It's different for everyone, so just do your research and do not undereat, because that will spur a binge. Also, one of my friends, I think, has a real issue when she gets bored. And it's one of those things where she felt like she was over her binging like periods, and then she would get bored and binge, and you just kind of have to, like, with her, this is what I told her, basically, you can't, if you think of it like a binge, she's like, I had a mini binge, I ate a whole pint of Ben and Jerry's, and I'm just like, who doesn't do that? Like, everyone at some point in their life is going to eat when they're bored, or just overeat in general. Like, it happens. And I think the less you think about it as a binge, and the more you just kind of, whatever, it happened, like, I overate. I think people, you kind of have to try to think as you would if you were a person that, maybe didn't have this, like, obsession over food, or, categorize themselves as suffering from binging. Like one of my friends has no, she just eats what she eats and, calls it a day and doesn't really suffer from any type of eating disorder. It's just like, oh, like, I ate a lot last night, like, let's not do that again. But she doesn't beat herself up over it. It's just like, okay, like, I ate some stuff last night, like, big whoop, it happens. So don't beat yourself up about it, and don't automatically be like, oh my god, I like binged, because I think it's easier. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but basically, don't, like, maybe try to think about food as you would put yourself in someone else's shoes who doesn't have this, like, fixation with food, and who wouldn't even think to categorize it as a binge. You know what I mean? Try to change your all or nothing attitude. If you suffer from binging, this is just my assumption, because this is what I did, this is what my friends who suffered as well did this. I have two, like, close friends who have gone through this, and all three of us share the same trait, and it's the all or nothing mindset. My diet's either perfect, my workouts are either perfect, or they're just like crap. If I do a half-ass workout, it doesn't even count. If I go over my macros a little bit, I'm already fucked up, might as well just ruin the entire part of the, you kind of like feel like, oh, well, I already screwed up, might as, like, what have I got to lose at this point? And honestly, I can't even tell you how many times I've, like, messed up on my macros, maybe gone like 200 calories over, even 1,000, whatever, something that, like, doesn't even really matter in the grand scheme of things, and then continue to eat 2,000 more calories, and then just being like, wow, like, I should have just stopped after I already messed up the first time, because what did I just gain by continuing to overeat it? Like, I wish I had just stopped. So if you go over your macros, or you, like, mess up, or, overeat, sorry, I keep saying macros because that's just what's relevant to me, but if you go over or, like, mess up on your diet for the day, that doesn't mean that your entire, like, day should be over, and that you just at this point might as well just go down the hill from there. So my advice is to just change the all or nothing attitude. Just accept that, like, you went over, and just continue on with what you would normally do. That is what has helped me. In these past few months, I've been able to stop binging, and I feel just like a lot happier. I have balance. Like, I went out last weekend, and I literally had 2 burritos. No, I had 3 burritos in 2 days, like, full fat, sour cream, 1,000-calorie burritos, and it's just like, okay, well, I enjoyed them. Like, I'm not going to undereat this week or make myself feel bad because I overate this weekend. Of course, that's easier said than done, but overall, you just kind of have to give yourself that leeway, and if, you screw up a little bit, don't continue the cycle. Just be like, okay, that's fine. Okay, I just finished filming, but I wanted to add one more thing about macros. Macros actually did help me you know, stop binging and develop an okay relationship with food, because it allowed me to have what I wanted. If I wanted some Oreos, I could have them without feeling like a fuck up and then just binging for the rest of the night. So macros really help you, you know, kind of fit in the foods that you want and be able to treat yourself. If you want to go to In-N-Out and have a cheeseburger, you can have a cheeseburger. You just have to make sure that your other food for the day is like nutrient dense and healthy. Macros did help me, and I know they've helped other people to be able to get over the binging, because I think binging comes from a lot of the times just that all or nothing mindset and thinking that you can't have these foods and like restricting yourself and yada yada. And if you restrict yourself, then your body's just going to crave them harder. If it fits your macros as a sustainable diet and it allows you to have what you want in, you know, within reason and with moderation. So I think that's really important. Those are the tips that I thought of for this particular video, just literally off the top of my head. So I hope it helped you guys. I hope it helped you guys, and I hope it made sense, because I tend to just talk and like assume people know what I'm saying when it's really confusing. But if you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them below or direct message me on my Instagram, which will be linked at the end of this video. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!